Hey there. I thought I would share something today that is more organizational in nature to help us with our crafting. I've been trying to do better about keeping track of my crafting activities. What have I been making? What did I use to make it? And I had tried Obsidian and Notion. I tried Google Keep, just a variety of different tools. I saw a YouTube video where someone presented Capacities, which isn't that old. It hasn't been around forever. And it intrigued me, the idea of the ability to create specific types with unique fields and cross-link things together. It looked like something that I could use for crochet. And so I wanted to share a little bit about how I've been using Capacities to help me track my crochet work. The first thing that I did was I came in and I created this type called yarn. Now, I won't say I have logged all of the yarn that I've used, but I have logged most of the ones that I've used over the past year or so. And so I created this type. This is a type that I created with the fields that I wanted and the names of the fields that I wanted and the field types. So I've got this yarn, this Lion Brand Cotton Bamboo Linen. So I've got the name of the yarn that shows up on the label here at the top. I've got a tag for crochet. I'll show more about that in a minute. But these are the fields that I set up: fiber, skein weight, skein length, yarn weight, tool size, gauge, care instructions, country of origin, company website, and then an open field of text in case I wanted to put in comments. And this has been really helpful to me for a number of reasons. One of the things that I find difficult to remember with yarn is, can I wash this thing? Can I put it in the dryer? So having care instructions in here for each of the yarn has been really helpful. Remembering, what was that yarn made of? I know it was cotton, bamboo, and linen, but was it 15% linen? Was it 25% linen? Well, I have that tracked in here. I even, have the gauge in here with the information on what they recommend for hook size and what they recommend or what they expect for the gauge to be. And in terms of being able to access the yarn again in the future, I've got the brand website here. Or if I bought it from a store, then I would put the store in here. But usually I'm going to put out whatever information is on the label. Now you'll see down here I've got a cross link. I'll show you more about the back links in a minute. So I've created this and I'm keeping track of all these different yarn types. And you'll see a couple of these have text in them because they've actually got information in that text field that I mentioned in the last one. And here I've just made a note to myself that I got this from Joann. It was a Joann store brand. Probably not going to be able to buy it ever again unless the company that makes it decides to start selling it on their own. So that's how I'm using the notes. Now here, I will show you in a second how this backlink works. I'm going to go to the next thing I created, which was the yarn work type. So when I create a thing out of yarn, I call it a yarn work, and then I track information that I would want to know in the future if I want to make that thing again, or if somebody asked me, hey, how did you make that? Well, I can refer to this, and this will give me information I need. I always start at the top with what was the weight of the yarn and what was the hook size. Was it Tunisian? Was it regular crochet? Here I've got that labeled at the top. Now here you will see that I linked, when I created this item entry, that I put in the link for the yarn. And so if I click on this, it will take me directly to the link on the yarn itself. So if I wanted more information on the yarn, what was it made out of? Can I wash this thing? And then if I'm in the yarn and I want to see more information on the shawl itself, I can still see all of that information here. So the cross-linking has been super helpful for me. Now, these are the two types I've created. I did also create a type for just note on some crochet stitches that I know I don't use enough to probably remember off the top of my head in the future. I don't have these linked to anything right now, but I'll have them labeled as crochet. And I will show you now how this tagging works. So everything that I create with crochet stitches or yarn works, you notice I've tagged them all as crochet. So if I want to pull in all of the information that's crochet, I can show all of that. Let me go back to the main page so you can see it from here. So I can click on crochet it'll pull up everything that's got that link, and it takes a little bit to load. It's loading all of them in, but everything that's labeled as crochet, it's pulling that in, and I can see it in a list. So if I decide to use capacities for things other than crochet, I can still isolate my crochet items because they're all tagged. So it requires remembering to tag things appropriately, and it requires remembering to link things when you create something. But when you create a link, so I'll go back to the shawl, I have in my head now that I should create the yarn first, make sure that I link to the yarn when I create the thing from the yarn. And as long as I do that, that cross link will show up in both places, right? If I want to see the yarn from the shawl, I can. And if I want to see the shawl from the yarn, I can. And if I create multiple things with that brand of yarn, then I will be able to see those links as well. This has been super helpful to me. I will probably create more types to keep track of equipment. I may create a hook type, so if I want to know if I used my Denise to go hooks, or if I used my knit pick hooks, or my hooks from AliExpress, whatever I use, I can create information for that. Whatever other crochet tools, bags, project bags, whatever, yarn winders. I only have one right now, but I'm looking at getting another one. Swifts, whatever you want to track, you could create types to keep track of all of your equipment. I just think that this has been super helpful for me to be able to cross-reference items. I've been using it pretty much daily because I've been crocheting pretty much daily, and I just find it helpful. So I wanted to share in case it helps anyone else. So that's how I've been using Capacities to track my crafting. Thanks for watching.